Hello, this is Bill. I know I've made a version of this recipe before, but I put some thought into it and I think I've come up with something I actually like better, because last time I made it actually was when I made it for the video. I hadn't made it in a while before that. I was kind of disappointed. I said, well, I know I can make it better. So this is a green chili, hot, bubbly dip that I make. It's great for entertaining. The one thing I like about it is it's got a little flavor, a little spice to it. It's not overwhelming, but it's really easy to make, and it's something you can just throw out there with some Fritos, something a little sturdier, and people like it. It's just it's not your typical French onion dip or something simple. And I like doing hot dips, especially if you're having a little gathering. So the first thing is I buy Anaheim peppers from the local produce place, farmer's market, wherever you can get them. They're pretty common. Hatch Chili Company makes their own variety of Anaheims that are probably the best. This year they're really hard to find here, so I just won't use regular Anaheims, because last year when I did this I used the Hatch chilies. And the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to get some nice sturdy ones. You don't want them soft, the skin has to be really intact. And I put them in a bowl and just put a bunch of olive oil on and kind of stir it up so you got a nice coating of olive oil, and you throw them on a really hot grill. And they'll start to blister within seconds. And you keep closing the lid. You don't really want to flame them, burn them. You just want a lot of heat. You're going to char them a little bit, and just keep taking your tongs and flipping them over so you get all four sides nice and blistered. You're going to take them off the heat, throw them in a bowl, and cover with plastic wrap while they're hot. That's going to do the final steaming of separating the outer skin from the chili itself. So first thing you do, as soon as they're cool enough to touch, usually like 10 minutes. Literally, I was really happy with this group because they were so fresh, because they were raised, grown locally here in Florida. That literally I grabbed the skin and it all came off, like just pulled right off. It was great. So then what I do then is I cut the stem end off, and I just tear them, split them open, and you can take a knife and just kind of scrape out the seeds. That's all you really want to do. I do get all the seeds out, which after a while your hands start to get all messy, especially when you're dealing with a pound of them. So you might have to stop and take a paper towel and kind of wipe your hands off, get back to them. But what you end up with these chilies, and I just wrap them up in plastic and throw them in the freezer. Now, the first time I did this, the recommendations I got was to wrap them individually, and I thought, well, that's great if you're just going to want to take like one or two out. But because there's literally basically there's almost a pound of chili here, I just wrapped them all together. If you're going to see what they look like, I just took them out of the freezer a little while ago. They just thawed out. It's going to be real easy. But that's the last part of the process, because I don't want to mutilate them when I'm making the rest of the dip. So I have in here 12 ounces. I won't tell you what brand it is, but make sure you use the block cream cheese. I don't care what brand you use. These are real convenient because they come in a 2-pack at my store. The soft or the whipped cream cheese doesn't really work for most of the recipes where you're baking. So I want 12 ounces, so each box is 8 ounces, so a box and a half, so I got some left over for bagels tomorrow. Now, as you can see, got some softened cream cheese in here. I want to kind of dilute it, and how I soften it is I get it out, throw it in my baking dish, and right before I'm ready to start mixing things together, I got a little button on the microwave that says softened cream cheese. Boom, 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 and it just gets it a little softer. I've got the juice of 1 lemon. I'm going to pour in here. And now, and you know, when you're dealing with something that you've just softened or warmed up, you don't want to pour something really cold in there. So I did squeeze the lemon a while ago. Just want to get this. All right, starting to get all mushed up. And so this is a really basic, really simple. This is really low effort. Glass baking dishes, I try not to bang around with metal, wooden stuff. I'm always trying to find cool wooden utensils to use, or your silicone rubber spatulas. We just call them rubber spatulas, and they're really not rubber. Maybe in my grandma's day. All right, so got that just a little mixed up. I have half a good sized red onion that I actually took some time and made sure I diced up pretty small. I like, when I'm making things like this, I like using red onion. It's a little more tart. Now this is going to add some solids to it, which is really going to help get that cream cheese mixed in. And this is really simple. A few little swirl arounds and we got this done. When you soften the cream cheese, don't melt it. That's not the purpose. We don't want to melt it, we want it softened. And literally I used to do it just by leaving it on the counter. So if you don't want to mess with your microwave. Alright, so of course, gotta have a little garlic. So I got like 3 cloves, good sized healthy cloves of garlic that I minced up real good. Dump them in there. Garlic is great when you're baking because it's so fragrant, and when you heat it up, it's just like wow. But mixing it in here, especially with the cream cheese, is really going to keep it mild. Okay, we're still good. So, got to put some hot sauce in here. Obviously, adjust it to your liking or the liking of your guests. If you want about a tablespoon, I like this hot sauce better than some of the other options that I used to use all the time. I think it's actually got some good flavor to it. I want about a tablespoon. And this is an optional thing, but I think it really adds to it because we roasted those peppers. This is smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is really cool. It has a smokiness to it. I just want a 1/4 teaspoon. And against my usual traditional rules, I literally want a pinch of salt. So I don't even put it in here or pour it in here. I literally put it in my hand. That's a pinch of salt. That's less than a few McDonald's French fries. Alright, I'm going to give this one last little mix. It's so festive in color. If you want to transfer this to some kind of oven-proof bowl after you bake it, I would suggest putting it in and maybe putting it in a warm oven or putting it in the oven for just a real short period of time on a fairly low heat, just so the bowl, if you have like a ceramic bowl, it's going to get a nice and warm, and that'll stay warm for serving. All right, it's mixed. Let me show you these peppers. So I've got a pound of peppers here. Literally what I want to do is, so if you think about it, all the peppers end up like this because I skin them and split them in half and laid them out real pretty. Paper towel because I knew I was going to pick one up. Don't want to touch your knife with a wet hand. Make sure it's dry. So I literally just want to go through, just kind of make a little chop in here. These really have a nice fragrance and taste to them. Keep your fingers intact. One day I'm going to find a really cool bench scraper. I used to have one that had a wooden handle. I loved it. Probably died somewhere or got lost somewhere moving. But so I want to get the peppers. I don't want all the liquid. No seeds. All right, so I like a lot of the green pepper or green chili in here. I'm sorry, chili peppers. So that's why I use the 12 ounces of cream cheese. The ratio you're going to see if you kind of Google search this. A lot of people will use both 8-ounce packages. I just kind of I want like chili like through and through on this recipe, so I've always used, and I tried it with just one pack one time because that's all I had because I screwed up and thought I had to. And it wasn't enough dip. You could have eaten it really easily, and it wasn't right consistency wise. So that's why I decided on 12. So just like anything else, I'm being very careful. I don't want to tear the chili peppers up. Just want to get everything mixed together. And you know, all that stuff that's stuck high up on the side burns on the sides. Try to scrape it down pretty good, so if you want to. And if you're going to serve it in this dish, this is a good time to take your spatula and kind of clean up around the edge so when it comes out it still looks nice and pretty. I just bake in this Corningware and then I transfer it. Make sure everything's buried. So, what do I have here? Got this all together. It's going to go in the oven for half an hour. When it comes out, it's going to be all nice and bubbly. And one thing that kind of makes this cool, unlike the other version, is it's not as heavy. It doesn't have the cheese in it. I think the other recipe has a little mayonnaise in it too. So it's really cool. It's going in the oven. I'm going to see it back 20-30 minutes. I'm going to check it probably after 20 minutes. You want to make sure it's nice and bubbly. Shouldn't take more than half an hour. See you back real soon. Okay, so been 20 something minutes, about 25 minutes. It was nice and bubbly. I took it out, I wanted to cool a minute so I could show you. Basically, I like my little Frito. I just want to show you. See, this is nice and creamy texture. The chilies are really great. And best of all, let's see how it tastes. The chilies really add just a mildness to it. Great texture. This is something really simple. I love the way the lemon juice kind of mingles in there. You know, lemon really brightens up flavors. A little citrus. It's really great. This was something really worthwhile. And like you said, it didn't take very long. I mean, so you throw it in the oven, go vacuum, clean something, whatever, and before you know it, it's time to take it out. Or you can be preparing other parts of other dishes. Like I said, this is just something you could, you know, it's really hot, so you're gonna be careful. Just something, you know, that's why I love these little silicone things. Throw it on, keeps it from sliding around, and you can throw it out there with a bag of chips. Fritos, you want something a little sturdier, and just let people dig in. And once again, that's how you bring people into the kitchen. You know, that's what it should be. Have fun. While you're making stuff, let everyone stand around, eat and drink, and you be boring. All right, I will see you next time around. We'll make something more interesting. Like I said, I hope you subscribe, try it, enjoy. Please comment. Tell me you think it's the greatest thing. Tell me what you want. Make suggestions, and I will see you next time.